Man, this is Deion Dawkins, man, and you're listening to The Scoop on OurScoop.com. You already know.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to The Scoop, the weekly podcast of OurScoop.com, the authority on Temple athletics. I'm your host, OurScoop editor, John DiCarlo. Last week, I told you that there was an impending Temple football verbal commitment. Well, since last week's pod, 2 players from the 2027 class have committed to Temple. Burlington Township High School linebacker London Johnson was the player I was alluding to on last week's podcast. He announced his commitment to Temple last Friday. And then on Saturday, Jackson Pritts, a place kicker and punter from Louisville's DuPont Manual High School, announced his commitment to Temple. As I wrote earlier this week, Kohl's Kicking Camps, which generally provides the most trusted rankings for high school kickers and punters, ranks him as a 5-star recruit and the nation's 6th best place kicker. So kind of a big deal for Temple with this commitment from Jackson Pritts. So in the span of a couple of days, Temple got one of the better linebackers from New Jersey and then one of the top kickers in the country. You can check out both of my stories on London Johnson and Jackson Pritts, and you're going to hear part of my interview with Jackson Pritts in a few moments here on The Scoop. We've also got more Temple men's basketball content for you. This week's podcast also includes my interview with sophomore guard Cam Wallace, one of 4 returning players on Adam Fisher's roster. He played kind of sparingly as a freshman, but he's also a guy that if things continue to trend in the right direction for him is someone who could see more minutes this season. He's looking to make that freshman to sophomore year leap that used to be kind of commonplace for guys in the days before the portal. He was one of the better high school players in the area coming out of the Westtown School. We saw some flashes of what he could do when he had 9 points in the win over Davidson last December. He decided to stay, as did Gavin Griffiths, and you'll hear Cam talk about that in our conversation. There's no mailbag this week. This is going to be the final episode of our 11th season. Then we'll take a week off from the Scoop next week. I'm going to be on vacation. Kyle's going to be on vacation. So when we come back the week of August 3rd, that will kick off our 12th season of the Scoop. This Saturday, we'll start 11 straight days of position previews as we get closer and closer to Temple's first preseason football camp practice on Wednesday, August 5th. We've got you covered all throughout the month of August with preseason camp. I'll have our first 2 position previews for you. Saturday will be the quarterbacks, and Sunday will be the edge rushers and defensive ends before Kyle writes about the running backs Monday, and Mike Livingston tells you more on Tuesday about the defensive tackles. So that summer lull is just about over now, and things are really starting to kick into high gear Saturday. Let's get you started here with my interview with Cam Wallace. He averaged 2.1 points per game and played in 19 games as a freshman. As I mentioned earlier, he had 9 points in the win over Davidson last December. We talked about why he decided to come back for his sophomore season, why coming back and playing with someone like Gavin Griffiths was important to him. He's going to have some competition in that backcourt this year with Jordan Marsh, Deuce Drake, Des White, Dallas Dillard, Cam Scott. Derek Morton Rivera, the freshman from Father Judge, is here now. So it could potentially be a deep Temple backcourt with a lot of competition. But as is often the case with a guy like Cam in his position who gets that full college offseason, he looks bigger physically. You can tell a full offseason in the weight room has been good for him. He looks and sounds more confident. And of course, he and the coaching staff are hoping that's going to translate to the court. So really enjoyed our conversation over at the team's Pearson McGonigal Hall facility. So here's Cam Wallace, and then we'll have more for you on the other side with Temple football commit Jackson Pritts.
What made you want to come back? Yeah. You know, everybody has a choice now, but what made you want to come back to Temple?
I just really like the coaching staff. Coach Fisk, Coach Huger, Coach Bobby, they were just really mentors all last season. And I liked how they adapted to everything. And I, to be honest, I kind of knew Gav was coming back, so I really wanted to play with Gavin. I bond with Gavin on and off the court. He's a really good guy. And I just really like Philly, when I'm not playing basketball. I'm just really enjoying myself, enjoying friends, just enjoying the environment. And that's something I want to be around.
Yeah, I remember talking to you when you committed, and I remember you saying, I know it sounds simple, but like being home is important to me, having your family around, having your friends around. Some guys could take your leave and say, I'll leave, but is that something that's always been a part of you, just saying like, being home's important to you?
I try to go home every weekend when I can, see the family, see my puppy, see just my grandma, I just like my family a lot. I want to see them, And they come up here, they come see the games and stuff like that, so it's definitely, I definitely like it a lot.
I gotta ask you, what kind of dog you have?
I got a puppy, I think 2 months ago.
Nice.
I got a little Rottweiler.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, he's a guy. He's a male, but yeah, he's bad.
This is like home in Chester County, home, or like here on campus?
Actually, so the first few weeks I got him, I took him here. So, and that was bad. Like, he was tearing up everything. He was going to the bathroom anywhere he wanted. But the last couple of weeks, I sent him home to like trying to get him home potty trained a little bit. But I'm probably bringing him back soon.
Well, doesn't Dallas have his dog here?
Yeah, Dallas does have his dog. When me and Dallas, first started hanging out, we would just let our dogs play. And they got along really well.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's nice.
Well,
and he's a German Shepherd.
Yeah. I remember when I interviewed him when he committed, he said, "Can I call you back in 5 minutes? My dog is sick. I got to make sure my dog's okay." Well, puppies are bad. You got to go through that. Last season, you averaged a little more than 6 minutes and 2 points per game. I've said this to so many guys when I talk back and look back at their careers. Not playing a ton as a freshman is totally normal, but I think people forget that now, especially people now. It's like you got to get old and stay old. What did last season teach you? Because you came, everybody's good in high school, but you came from a really good high school program. What were the ups and downs of last season like, and what did it teach you?
What was new to me was everybody's good. Like, everybody's strong. Everybody knows the game of basketball. And I just had to adapt to that because I would sometimes play around kids that didn't really know how to play basketball or wasn't that talented. But everybody's talented here. And so I got to be on my game every day. If I'm not on my game, they'll on the court it'll show. And just the physicality standpoint of the game, just boxing out, just stuff like that, getting bumped, finishing through contact. I think those are the biggest things. And my defense, I learned a lot of new things like this year to like bump the screener, high hand, all like those types of things. I never did in high school. So yeah, that was definitely a challenge.
Last year, I think maybe the highlight of the season for you was that Davidson game. 9 points, 3 of 6 shooting, 2 of 4 from 3, 23 minutes, didn't turn the ball over once, and that was kind of a theme for you all the season. That was a nice win for you guys at the time, and you guys don't win without your contributions in that game. Do you remember what was working for you that night? Yeah,
I just came in that game with full confidence, and I really wanted to win that game. Davidson's a great atmosphere, a lot of fans, and I was just like, this is where I want to be. This is what I've been wanting the past couple of years. Just seeing this, I know this is on TV, just step up. And I feel like that's what me and my team did.
123 minutes last season, again, just 3 turnovers. That's kind of rare sometimes. I think sometimes as a freshman, you see guys, they want to make something happen, and they're willing to live with it. Not that they want to turn the ball over, but they're trying to force the issue. You didn't do that. What allowed you to do that and not turn the ball over that much?
Just be calm and trust my teammates. Just make the simple plays. And I came in the game, with a chip on my shoulder. I'm like, I got to prove myself. I got to do better. And I just feel like going in with that mindset is always the best for me. Just if you're open, shoot it. If your teammate's open, pass the ball to them. Just play basketball.
You have your, whatever you call it, like end of the season conversation with Adam Fisher, your exit interview, whatever. What did you guys talk about in terms of, or even at that point when you guys sit down at the end of the season, did you kind of tell them, yeah, I'm coming back? What's the conversation like? Is it like, I'm coming back, here's what I want to work on? What was that conversation like?
Yeah, I definitely I feel like the coaching staff knew I wanted to come back. I didn't really hint to anything else. But the conversation was like, I wanted to get better, what type of things I need to work on, what's Coach Fisher's plan, and just stuff like that. And I have really good conversations with Coach Fish. We went to Old Nelson to talk about this. You know where Old Nelson is? Yeah. So we just went to Old Nelson, grabbed something to eat, and just talked about our future. And I liked what he saw, and we had a good conversation.
When the transfers start coming in for official visits, were you part of you sticking around, you and Gavin? Well, I know we weren't sure at the time if Mo was coming back, but did you meet some of the guys coming in? Were Fish and the staff saying hey, I want you to stick around, meet some of these guys, and tell me what you think of them?
I knew some of the guys coming in from, just past, just people I know them. And they weren't complete strangers, but I remember one time when I was, just cleaning my locker, getting my shoes from Leah Core Center and bringing them over here. I met Dallas, met some of his family. And, that's really the only interaction I had with them.
And do they say to you, hey, Cam, what'd you think, even if it was a brief interaction? They know who they want to recruit, but how do they pick your brain and say, what'd you think of your interaction with them? Do they ask stuff like that?
But I feel like it was mostly how well do I play with the returners? They asked me who do you like playing with? And I said Gavin. Gavin's a really good player. He knows he just knows the game of basketball. And I like Mo and I like Olin. Those are really good people.
Yeah. How big is it to get Gavin back? He had his ups and downs too. I know he went through a big shooting slump, but you can obviously see when he's on, he's on. And defensively as a shot blocker, what he gave you guys. Again, he probably could have had his choice to leave, but what does it mean to get him back?
Now, Gavin's just a winner. He's just a winner. He wants to win all the time. And I love his mindset about certain things. He's not really, to be honest, you can't really push Gavin around or try to baby Gavin. Like, he'll go right back at you. And I just love that mindset. And, he jumps out the gym. He plays his best. When you said about that shooting slump, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
I just think about how good a shooter Gavin is.
Yeah.
And he's not in that shooting slump right now in practice. So he's knocking everything down, and I just know he's got my back.
Where do you feel like you have improved, even just over ever since the season ended and just working out here in the summer? Where do you feel like you've gotten better as a player?
In the weight room, I feel like I've gotten stronger, a little bigger. I feel like I'm more calm in like ball screens, or just being confident with my shot. And I always felt like I was a good passer, but it's just the right pass. It's just the right decision. And I feel like I've grown on those aspects.
I know you guys have had a good amount of time now. Just before I ask you some specific questions, what's the general vibe of this team so far, on the court, off the court? What do you think so far after working out with them and practicing with them?
Yeah, I think everybody's talented. I think everybody wants to win. And these guys have great personalities off the court, Like, we can laugh, we can joke, laugh, talk about anything really when we want. I think everybody's in a different aspect of their life too. We have a lot of older guys, and we have some younger guys like me, Olin, Mir. We just combine very easily.
What we see on social media is like a slice of it, but I saw the part where you were mic'd up, and it generally looks like a group that's having fun together, and I guess you can't really fake that. Like, where does that come from? Are you guys just clicking on the court and off the court with the personalities?
We hang out a lot off the court. We just have some hangouts. We'll watch some TV. We were all watching FIFA or the NBA Finals. Like, we would always get together, just watch that, and that was fun. And we'd also every week we had these team bondings. We went mini golf. We went to the beach. We went bowling. Just stuff like that. It's super fun. And we also hang out with the coaches, so we get closer to the coaches as well.
I guess you have to kind of do it that way now, because you've never known anything different. It's just like portals open, rosters reload every year. It's kind of how you have to do it, right?
Yeah, I think I had 15 guys last year, and we only have 4 returners. Yeah. So 10, 11 guys just left, and that's kind of hard. Got to make new friendships, got to make new connections. It's just hard, but it's something you got to do in college basketball.
You have been where Derek Morton Rivera is now, one of the top players in the area coming in as a freshman. What's going through his mind right now? What have you seen him? Are you a shoulder for him to say, hey, man, I was in your shoes last year. I know what it's like to come as a freshman. What have you seen from him just on and off the court?
Mir is very talented. He knows how to play basketball, like I said. And he's a good person off the court. I feel like I connect more with Mir off the court. We call him Mir. Yeah, we call him Mir off the court. Just showing him how Temple is. And, I think he likes it a lot. He's just adapting to certain things. And, he'll be a great player.
Put on your coach's hat for a second. Give me a quick scouting report of this backcourt that you're part of. A lot of different versatile pieces. Who are some of the guys that jump out at you? What have you seen so far?
Besides Gavin, I feel like Jay Marsh, Jordan Marsh, very shifty, can shoot the lights off the ball, off the dribble, get to the rack, get fouled, get to the line, stuff like that. Des White, knockdown shooter, come off the screen, pass out to him in the corner, he'll just shoot it, knock down. Anywhere from the court, really, beyond NBA line, college. Who else? We got Babacar from UTSA. We played him last year in UTSA. He torched our team really good. Yeah. He had 20 points, something like that. And I knew he had that mean mindset. I feel like not really mean, but hard head. He'll just not take no for an answer, or he'll just give it his all on defense. And he finishes really well through contact, stuff like that.
Dallas.
Yeah, Dallas. I said Babacar because Babacar sometimes does come off ball screens as a guard.
He's really versatile.
Yeah,
I know
versatile.
It sounds cliche, but is he one of those guys that could pretty much guard any spot on the floor?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, even the bigs, the guards. He's just really physical. Dallas is really good. Dallas is good. Just when people stay on him when he drives, he'll just pass it to Sir. That's a dunk. He'll bump you, midi. He'll take it to lane and one. just stuff like that. And he's got a lot of swagger to his game, good handle, just really nice player.
And so it looks like he really isn't missing a beat. You see it now, like D2 guys transferring up, and you might look at him and say, like, how'd this guy end up at D2? He's really good because certain guys are getting left behind with recruiting. It sounds to me like he's not really missing a beat, like adjusting.
Not at all. Not at all. Not at all. Like, he talks on defense. He knows what to do. He's a leader, to be honest. He's a really leader. He'll talk to you, try to bring your team back up. And, it's definitely someone we can lean on. Yeah.
I wanted to ask you a little bit more about Jordan. He clearly knows how to use his body. He was joking around saying, like, they might say I'm like 5'10" on the roster. I'm closer to like 5'9". He just is one of those players that's like, he gets to the rim. It's like, how do you do that? He just knows how to position himself. What is it like either guarding him or playing around him? Because he just kind of has, I know it sounds cliche, kind of has a little bit of that it factor about him, like the stuff you saw him do before, the stuff you saw him do at USC last year, hitting big shots, just knowing how to get around people. What's it like playing with him?
Yeah, what it's like guarding him is just like, you just got to keep a hand up. It's like, to be honest, when I was first guarding him, I didn't think he was going to do what he did to me, and he made it. I'm not thinking he's going to put it between his legs, step back, three from beyond college line. I was not thinking he was going to do it, but he just did it, switched it. And when playing with him, you already know he's going to get bucket. You always know he's going to get bucket. Balls in his hands. And he gets in the line a lot, and that's what we want.
Edwin kind of stands out to me like a guy maybe like Bob Carr, like 6'6", maybe 6'7", but again, seems like you might be able to throw him on anyone on the court. What do you see from Edwin?
Edwin's really good. He's a really good finisher, and he's actually an underrated shooter. Like, sometimes I'll see him shoot that it goes in. Great shooter, and he's a really good finisher. And I think another underrated part of his game is his passing. If he'll cut and you're wide open, he'll pass to you. Like, no looks, just stuff like that. It's what I want on my team.
On paper, between Christian Beam, Sir Isaac Heron, Mo coming back, I have to think you guys have to like your front court depth better this year. What have you seen? I'll start with Christian. What have you seen from playing against him?
Oh yeah, Christian he's a hard worker, and I think he's 7'1". He's definitely a 7-footer.
Yeah.
And he's big too. He's not like skinny or anything. So yeah, he's throwing the ball. Like, he had a really good catch today. Like, I threw him the ball and he finished it. And his hands are good. His hands are good. And yeah, you can just trust him on defense too. And with Sir Isaac, he's just very strong. Sir Isaac is strong. He's always lifting the most weights in the weight room, and he really wants it. I could just tell he really wants it, and I feel like he's got our backs. And yeah, he's got bounce to him. Sir Isaac's got some bounce to him.
I talked to him last week, and he just sounds like, not that Christian does, and Christian does too, but Sir Isaac just seems like a really grounded, older, mature guy, and like really good perspective on stuff. What's he like off the court? Yeah,
definitely like a mentor. Like, if you need any advice, like, he's the one, and he'll give it to you. Like, he won't be like, nah, go ask someone else. He'll try to like make you understand his experiences, and you will learn from his experiences.
Who's been the toughest defensive assignment for you?
Toughest defensive assignment. Like, as I'm guarding a guard, or I'm guarding like
anybody you're guarding, and then I want to ask you the flip side of it. Who's defending you best?
I'd probably say Jay Marsh or Gavin. Jay Marsh or Gavin. Gavin's he'll just jump he'll just dunk it like out of nowhere. Just dunk it. Gavin just shoot in your face. Jay Marsh is mad shifty, twitchy. Just finish it. Shoot a three from NBA line. It's like, you got a hand up. Both these guys got a hand up, and they'll still make it. So yeah.
And it's probably an unfair question to ask because, again, it's July 23rd. But when you look at last year's roster versus this year's roster in terms of the makeup of it, what's similar, what's different? I mean, I know there's a lot. Obviously, it's different. But like, what do you think the identity of this team might be able to be just from what you've seen so far?
I think we have more bigs. We're bigger. Last year we didn't have too many bigs or people playing out their position, I think. But yeah, this year we have more bigs. And I feel like we have more guards that can shoot this year. Not saying like anybody can shoot last year, but we have more like spot-up shooters, people at the dribble and stuff like that. And the big aspect, we just have more bigs. You know, it's always better, like 7-footers, stuff like that. And I think some similarities is everybody wants to win. Everybody wants to come into the gym, work hard, just strive for greatness. And we connect off the court. Like, last year we were very close. I could talk to anybody about anything. And I feel like we're getting to that point with this team. We just got to keep growing.
I wanted to pay tribute to Bill Courtney. You were one of the guys that was here last year when he passed, and I can't think of a much more difficult thing to go through than what you guys did. You know, you find out that he passed right before you're pretty much getting on the plane to go to Memphis. How did you guys work through that as a team? And if you had to tell people who didn't get the chance to meet him, it was, you know, he's such a great coach, great assistant coach, recruited so many good players. What would you say to honor his memory to people who hadn't gotten the chance to meet him?
Yeah, I feel like when the team first found out he passed away, we just all needed each other. You know, we played a big game in Memphis. We almost won, you know, but we still played hard. We still had each other's back, and I just think that was the best for us. And BC has a great personality. He was always laughing or joking about something. And, you know, I never saw BC had like a sad day or off day. Like he was always joyful, always wanting to be in the gym. Like he always looked like he wanted to be there and stuff like that. So that was always good.
In that moment, what did you guys do? I know there's not really a book you can take off the shelf, but I think I'd heard that you guys like huddled as a team and said, we're going to play this game or not play this game. And you knew how important he was to Adam. When you guys, if you're willing to share, what do you guys do to like band together in that moment? Do you kind of just say, we don't have much of a choice, we got to move forward?
Yeah, we were asked if we wanted to play or not. Everybody wanted to play. Nobody said no. We wanted to do it for BC. Maybe we thought BC would want us to play, and we wanted to honor BC by playing, and I think we honored him by playing hard and, you know, just trying our best.
Tell me about Courtney Eldridge, your new assistant coach. He's got big shoes to fill.
Definitely Coach Squirt. He's definitely like, I like him a lot. He's a type of coach that'll be in the drills to show you. You know, I like that a lot. Like he'll play defense sometimes, and he's actually low. Like he's like one of us. And yeah, it's just, and I heard like when the managers and coaches be playing like 5-on-5, 4-on-4, he's like the best.
Yeah.
He'd be killing everybody. So yeah, that's definitely what a coach. I want a player. I think he's a player's coach, and I definitely would want that.
What's on tap for you this summer when you're not playing basketball? What's Cam Wallace getting into other than hanging out with the dogs and
just chilling with friends? You know, I'm watching The Walking Dead right now.
Okay.
I just watch movies. My roommate's Olin, so I hang out with Olin a lot of times. We'll go to Maxie's. We'll go just take a walk, just stuff like that. You know, just try to take advantage of Temple's campus.
Thanks again, Cam Wallace. We've still got a few more interviews to get to, hopefully, this offseason, even as we get into the football side of things. So hopefully we can bring you some more hoops content as we get into our 12th season here at The Scoop. I talked about Jackson Pritts at the outset of the show. I wrote about him earlier this week. Al Scoop subscribers get access to that full story. If you sign up now, as a reminder, you get your first 5 days for $1, then 50% off your first year. That's an offer you don't want to miss. So go to alscoop.com, go to the top of the page, click subscribe. Kyle and I and our whole staff are going to make sure that it is absolutely worth every single penny of your subscription. So again, an offer that you don't want to miss. What you're going to hear now is part of my interview with Jackson Pritts when we caught up last Sunday night. He talked to me about why he picked Temple, explained why life for a five-star kicking recruit is a little different and why it's different. So let's play that for you. What made you decide to commit to Temple? I know you had a lot of interest and a few other offers. When you're getting recruited as a kicker, when it comes down to it, what made you pick up the phone and call him to commit?
Yeah, so when I visited Temple, I think it was back in, was it March or April?
I think it was early April, I think.
I had a great time, You know. We didn't know much about it. We did a little bit of research going into it, but still wasn't sure what to expect. And we fell in love with the coaching staff immediately. You know, there's something great going on in Temple that we completely wanted to be a part of. And you could see it on my first visit. And then when I took my OV, it really felt like I was a part of a family. I don't know if you've seen Ted Lasso or like kind of what Ben Johnson's doing with the Bears. Yeah. But it really felt like a family structured team. And that's just something I completely fell in love with.
When did you take your official visit, in June?
Yes, sir. It was June 12th, I believe.
Oh, okay. Does it make a difference when they have, I know every program does it differently, but they've got Brian Ginn, their special teams coordinator, but they've also invested in Rick Brown, like a specialist coach, and he's got ties to the NFL, and they've invested in that position. Did that make a difference to you when it came time to deciding?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, the NFL is a completely different thing to think about. But I didn't really think the NFL ties weren't too much of a decision maker for me. I felt like, the coaching staff and how they interacted with the players was more of a a sell for me, as they really like fell into line with what I was looking for. I haven't really thought too much about how my college career is going to go into the NFL. I'm kind of just right now in the moment.
Well, I mean, obviously you're one of the top kickers in the entire country. What is it like getting recruited as a kicker? Because I know everything's different now. It's about roster spots and there's rev share and guys are getting paid. When you're one of the best kickers in the country, are there still places that will scholarship guys and some that will say, well, we're going to try to just bring in preferred walk-ons? Like, what was the experience like if you had to explain it to somebody?
Yeah, so like the kicking recruitment world is completely different than any other position. And I didn't really know that going into it. So come January, after I have a great performance at the Underclassmen Challenge, I start getting texts and phone calls. And while this is happening, I'm seeing other positions getting offered and people committing. And I think I'm late to the game. Mm-hmm. So I think being a kicker and a specialist, everything comes a little later than expected. And that's just kind of what happens with like how people use their scholarships and their recruitment. Obviously, special teams is very important to the game of football, but I completely understand why sometimes these schools will hold out for a kicker, because you can only really offer one guy. You have that one scholarship spot if you want to use it, and you want to make sure that you offer the right guy because your job's on the line. You want to put your full trust in this person, and I feel like it makes complete sense really going through this process of making sure that you have full trust in the guy that you're going to offer a scholarship. So I feel like it does take longer, but for that reason.
When Temple offered you, just you along that line of thought there, when they were offering you and saying like, yeah, that you got to make that one offer count, what did they say they liked about you? I mean, obviously your numbers are what they are. You've done well in the national circuit, but what did they say about you that made them want to offer you?
Yeah, so I feel like when I went on my official visit, Coach Brown was really telling me about how I'm a bigger dude, but he was complimenting my ability to have kind of a smooth stroke as some of the smaller guys have. And he said my size with that capability, he could develop me and do great things. So I feel like that, along with, I think we had a great time when I visited my unofficial visit. Just talking, and everything just felt so fluid. I kind of felt like we built a relationship instantly, and I feel like that, along with my performances, kind of paired together, and I feel like that's why they ultimately decided on me, which I'm super grateful for.
Again, that was Temple commit Jackson Pritts. The Owls are up to 14 verbal commits now. They currently have the third-ranked class in the American per Rivals. As I mentioned before, our football coverage is really going to start to ramp up again this weekend. Casey Keeler, Peter Clark, and Eric Stewart are down in St. Petersburg right now for the American Conference's Football Media Day. If you're listening to this early Friday morning, you might be able to catch American Commissioner Tim Pernetti. He's going to speak at 8:15 this morning, and then Casey's talking at 10 a.m. You can catch all that on ESPN+. That's going to do it for this week. I hope you're all having a great summer wherever you are. The next time, again, you're going to hear from us on The Scoop, we'll be kicking off our 12th season. So we really want to thank all of our listeners and all of our subscribers on the pod and all the support you've given to us over the last decade or so. Our downloads of the pod are up about 18% over the past year. And even in these slower days of the summer, our listenership has continued to grow. And that really, really means a lot to us. So we thank you, appreciate you, and we will talk to you in a couple weeks.